Hello, and welcome to the Choose Your Path webinar, talking about the Master of Engineering Management program at Duke University. I'm Brad Fox. I'm the Associate Dean of the Master's Programs here, as well as the Executive Director of the Master of Engineering Management program. And I'm going to spend a few minutes talking to you about the MEM program at Duke University. So let's first talk about some of the things about Duke that I think really makes it a great place to study. The first is that we're a globally recognized leader. We've been doing MEM education for over 20 years. We were one of the co-founders of the MEM Programs Consortium. We offer both residential and distance programs for students depending on what form of education best suits your needs. We also place an extensive effort into our co-curricular entrepreneurship and leadership opportunities. We want to make sure that we're developing the whole individual, and so there are lots of things that go on campus for our master's students beyond simply the academic courses that you'll be taking. I also want to mention that we typically have around 300 students total in both our residential and distance programs, and often representing over 20 countries each year. So we're a very large and diverse group, so you'll be studying with lots of people from across the globe. And finally, I wanted to mention that our focus is on industry. We understand that most of our graduates want to go on and work into industry, and so our courses are designed specifically to prepare you for that role. And we also have very close ties to industry, to where we connect our students with some of our industrial partners. We have an industrial advisory board that we meet with each semester that gives us feedback to make sure our curriculum is relevant. And so it is really a place that is an applied education. This is not a research degree. So let's talk more specifically about the curriculum that we offer here at Duke. Most of the engineering management programs across the country have a slightly different curriculum, and you'll find one that may better suit your needs. So let's talk about the curriculum here at Duke to see if it might be a good fit for you. So there are 4 key elements in our curriculum. The first is 4 management courses that every student of ours takes. And so we'll talk about those more specifically in a later slide, but this is the foundation to really create a business savvy engineer, and we require all students to take those 4 courses. Then there are 4 technical electives that really provide you the opportunity to customize the degree based on your interests, and we'll talk about some of the tracks that we have within our program to really allow you to customize the education to your interests. The third element is our seminar and workshop series, which you need to take for 2 semesters. And so this is really focused on professional development. How do we best prepare you for entering in to a career in industry? And so we'll talk about specifically what we do in the seminar and workshop series, but really think about that as professional development. And then finally, the 4th element is we have a required internship as well as an internship assessment, which consists of a report and presentation. And so one, this is an opportunity for you to work in industry, to apply some of what you've known, or to use that experience as perspective as you're learning within your classes. And then it also provides an opportunity for you to work on your communication skills. So one of the things that we hear from our industrial partners is that engineers need to be better communicators. And so we work with you through a report as well as a presentation to work on some of those communication skills. So let's talk a little bit more about our curriculum. So I talked about the 4 required management courses. And so our program is very interdisciplinary. It's an engineering school degree, but it's offered in collaboration with the School of Business and the School of Law. And so our 4 core courses consist of a marketing class, where you'll learn about customers and their expectations, and this is taught from the School of Business. We also have a management and leadership class taught through the School of Business, as well as an accounting and finance class, again, taught through faculty from the School of Business. Our 4th required class is a class in intellectual property and business law, and this is through collaborations with individuals from the School of Law. Again, we want subject matter experts that are there teaching you the critical elements of business within our program, and that's one of the things we really appreciate about our program is the fact that it is interdisciplinary. We should also say that we talked about technical electives, and we'll talk about some of the specific Master of Engineering Master of Engineering Management technical electives in just a moment, but there's a wide range of opportunities here to really make your program interdisciplinary. So you can take courses within the School of Engineering in one of our more traditional engineering disciplines, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and so forth. We also have electives within the School of the Environment, the School of Business. We have an energy initiative as well as an innovation and entrepreneurship program. So lots of opportunities for you to really customize your degree, either in very specific classes offered through the Master of Engineering Management program or in some of the classes offered across the university. Next, let's talk about how you can customize your curriculum to your specific areas of interest. So within the Master of Engineering Management track program, we have several different tracks that are really focused on developing you and preparing you for certain career opportunities. And so those tracks are commercializing technological innovations, a track on data analytics, one on global health, one on operations and supply chain management, one on product design and development, another on product management, and a new one that we're offering on technology founders, or you have the opportunity to customize your own curriculum. So within these various tracks, we offer a select set of electives that will really prepare you for a certain role in industry. Overall, there are well over 20 MEM electives that you have to choose from. And as we said, if these specific electives aren't those that most interest you, there are hundreds of electives offered within the engineering school in our traditional departments. And then we also have over 100 approved technical electives outside of the engineering program that you can take. I should mention that for courses outside of the MEM program, Duke has a very open policy for allowing students to take those, but there are two general requirements, and one is that students in that particular major typically get first choice of seats in a class, and occasionally classes do fill up. And the second is that faculty need to provide permission for a student outside of the program to take a course, and that is primarily to make sure that a student has the right background to be successful in the class. Wanted to speak just for a moment about the Technology Founders program. One, it gives a great example of one of the tracks that we have to offer, and also this is a new program that we are offering. So the idea in this program is that it is for individuals that are interested in launching their own startup. You may or may not necessarily have your own idea for that startup, and so this program is designed to help you develop or at least cultivate that idea, and then ultimately transition to the end of the program where if things go well, you will have a viable program that a viable business that you can certainly continue to pursue. So within this program, you'll still take the core classes and all the required classes that we've talked about within the MEM program, but you will spend the first semester really on thinking about defining your problem. And then the second semester, your technical electives will focus on defining a solution to that problem. And then over that first summer, your internship will essentially be developing your own business. So working on a prototype, developing your pitch, and assessing that pitch, developing a business plan. And for those students that want to continue on, there will be an opportunity to continue on for a third semester of study where we will provide those students with a Founders Fellowship of about $5,000 to help you with that enterprise, to help it get off the ground. This program has lots of mentoring because we know that in order to cultivate this founder's philosophy, you really need to work with people that have been through starting their own business. And so we have some strong mentoring within this program that are designed to help you develop your business. So this gives you an idea of one of the tracks. As we said, we have a number of tracks, but wanted to give you a better sense of some of the opportunities that are available to you if you were to come to Duke University. I mentioned previously that the program is applied, and so wanted to talk for a moment about the applied nature of this program. So we have four typical class types within the program. One is traditional, so where there will be lectures, there will be tests. As I said, it's more traditional, probably what you're used to currently. Many of our classes use case analysis, and case analysis is a situation where you are asked to read about a situation, often a real world situation occurring within a business. And from that, you're going to have to do a couple of things. First is you'll often have to define what's the problem. So this is one of the things that makes it much different than a traditional academic class and much more realistic to what you'll experience within business, because problems aren't always clearly defined to you, and you have to search and figure out what you really think the issues are. And so within a case, you will certainly have to find the problem, identify the problem, understand what some of the solutions might be within the context of that particular business, and then ultimately develop some solutions that you think will address the situation. So the value of a case analysis is it really helps develop your critical thinking in a business environment. And so, as I said, a number of our classes use that sort of approach. We also have project-based classes. So in a project class, there's typically going to be lectures that go on, but kind of throughout the semester, there will be a project that you're working on that you'll deliver at the end of that particular program. And so one of the classes that offers a project is commercializing technological innovations. And so in that class, you will be given a client, or you'll have the opportunity to select a client from a list, and that client has a specific question about one of their new ideas, one of their product ideas, and it will be up to that team to work with the client to understand really what value proposition that has, to talk to potential customers to see if that solution really does address their concerns, and then ultimately put in place a recommendation for ways to commercialize that particular project. And then the final type of applied course that we have is a practicum. And a practicum is really very much like a consulting experience. So there are no lectures in this. At the beginning of the semester, we will identify a number of different clients. We choose different themes in a variety of years. In the semester I'm showing as an example, that year we chose a number of unicorn companies that were thinking about new product opportunities or new launch opportunities or doing competitive analysis. And so the type of project differs depending on what the needs of the client are. And so you will work with a practicing consultant who's the faculty mentor for this, but it is up to you to engage with the client, to understand their needs, and to ultimately deliver a solution for them at the end of the semester. So it is a great opportunity for individuals to, again, engage with a client and work on problems that they are currently facing. So in the four types of kind of four major themes within the program, I talked about our seminar and workshop series, which is primarily about professional development. So I wanted to spend a moment or two to talk about what we intend to do there. What's the purpose of these? So in the seminar, quite honestly, it's about industry and career exposure. So we usually have a weekly seminar, and we'll bring in a working professional from a variety of different industries, and they'll talk about challenges that their industry faces. I'll talk about challenges they've faced in their career. Many of them will talk about their career trajectory and how it changed from maybe being very technically focused to transitioning into a more operations focus and then back to technical, why they made those decisions, why they thought they made sense, and how it helped to build their career over time. Because ultimately, you're going to need to plan your own career and make these sorts of decisions in your career. When is it right to take a different role within an organization? What decisions, what factors go into making those decisions? And this seminar really helps expose you to that. The workshop series is really focused on professional development. So our industrial advisory board has told us there are a number of skills that they want and almost expect graduates to have, and yet these skills don't fit in naturally to a typical academic curriculum. And so we've put them into our curriculum through these workshops. And so you will have to do a number of workshops within a semester. And so I've given some examples of some of the things that we do in these workshops. Part of it is, giving you a better understanding of bigger context. So one of them, what we've offered is business implications of climate change. Other things we've offered talk about decision making, flexibility, resilience. So it's actually a rock climbing exercises. You'll get out and, actually be doing some rock climbing. So lots of different opportunities to work on different skills depending on what you think will most help you move forward in your career. So one of the things that I wanted to spend a moment on, because a lot of students have questions about this, we certainly have a flexible curriculum. And one of the areas of flexibilities that we have is that you may complete the degree in either 2 semesters or 3 semesters. Now, in any case, you'll need to complete 30 credits as well as the 2 seminar and workshop courses. But it's just the 2 semester versus 3 semester option just depends on how you distribute those courses over either 2 or 3 semesters. So to me, really the big difference between 2 semesters and 3 semesters depends on a couple of factors. And part of it depends on how much experience you have coming in, as well as how much of a transition you are trying to make through your Master of Engineering Management program. So those individuals where a 2 semester option tends to work best are those individuals that have prior work experience before coming into the program, and so they can use that work experience to fulfill their internship requirement and then complete their internship assessment. It also works best for individuals that are being somewhat consistent with their prior career path, but they just wanted additional business skills in order to advance in that trajectory. The individuals that the 3 semester option works best for are individuals who don't have an internship. And so often students in the 3 semester track will do an internship over that summer between semesters 2 and 3. That internship gives students an opportunity to explore, in many cases, maybe a new area of interest for them. And then the 3 semester option also, as I said, gives students a little bit more time that are thinking about transitioning from one role to another role to develop that understanding and expertise and better prepare them to enter the workforce. So clearly, if you have more questions about this, we can answer those, but hopefully that's a good brief overview about the differences between the 2 and the 3 semester option. So we know that students come to master's programs, particularly professional master's programs, thinking about how is this going to help me advance in my career? What do graduates of that program do? And so wanted to speak a minute to talk about that. But one of the challenges for Duke's program is we are very diverse. And so we have a wide variety of career tracks. And so students pursue a wide variety of career options. There is not one single pathway that our graduates pursue. But let's talk a little bit about some of the companies that our students have gone to. And you can see it's a wide range of lists, wide range of companies here. There's some traditional engineering companies, some traditional manufacturing companies, some high-tech manufacturing companies, consulting, a wide range of opportunities. And so, there are a number of paths that you may choose depending on your interests if you come to Duke University. So to help you out in that regard, we have put together some information that talks more specifically about employment of our graduates. And so if you want to explore this, please go to the website memp.pratt.duke.edu and search employment as it shows on the left-hand side of this screen. If you do that, you will see this visual on the right-hand side, which is a Tableau database talking about where our graduates have gone. And this will give you an opportunity to explore, where have domestic students gone? Where have international students gone? You can also look at it by year as well. You can see not only the employer, but a specific job role that the student has taken. So as I said, there's a lot of information here that you can explore. The one thing that I would like to point out on the map, which shows a great visual, is that graduates of our program really work across the United States. Certainly a number of them continue to work and stay in North Carolina, but you can see we have lots of graduates that go to New York, California, Texas, Florida, across the U.S. And so it just gives you a sense of where our graduates go after they complete their degree. So let me talk for a moment about, as a summary of what we've talked about today. These are the things that I think make Duke's MEM program a great place to study. So the first is we have a very interdisciplinary approach. It's an engineering school program, but in cooperation with the School of Business and School of Law, we bring in subject matter experts to teach business topics to our engineers. The other thing I'd like to talk about is we have a strong emphasis on both the qualitative and the quantitative decision-making skills. We think both of these are critical as you move forward within your career. The second thing I'd like to talk about is flexibility and breadth. As we said, we give you 4 technical electives to really customize your degree to make it your own. And these can be within the electives offered in the engineering management program. It can be within the engineering school or even broader across Duke University. We've also talked about how our program is applied. Our intent is to prepare individuals to enter the workforce. And so we spend a lot of time and effort making sure our program is applied. This is not a research degree. It will not lead to a PhD program. As I said, our focus is preparing the 21st century global workforce. And I mentioned global, and so one of the things that we have embraced within our program is we fully believe that student diversity is a strength of ours. Graduates are going to work in a global environment, and so we think having a global community here for our students is really the best place for you to prepare yourself to move forward in a global workforce. And then finally, we really focus on the experience. We've talked a lot about academics. Within other webinars, I think we'll talk a little bit more about student opportunities, but there is a strong focus on career development as well as co-curricular activities. And so, when you come to Duke, yes, you'll be taking classes, very rigorous classes, but we want you to do things beyond the classroom to really get the most out of your Duke experience. All right, so I have been talking with you about the MEM program. I certainly work with a great team that can also help you as you think about choosing whether or not Duke University is right for you. So there's our admissions and recruiting team that many of you have probably met. If you want to reach out to them, please send an email to pratt_masters@duke.edu. Carolyn Gilbert is within the MEM program. She's our Assistant Director of Student Services, works with students closely about having a great student experience. Her email is carolyn.gilbert1@duke.edu. And Tracy Faust is our academic coordinator. Her email is tracy.faust@duke.edu. So moving forward, we wanted to remind you that there will be a live Q&A session. If you see the link on the admitted student page, you may register as well as submit your questions in advance. So hopefully you found this to be valuable. We hope that you certainly will consider Duke University as you think about your graduate studies. Have a great day.